It's the best way to cruise into autumn. Send off to summer. Only at Saginaw Eagles Landing Casino and Hotel. Watch your fun out. Visit Saginaw-EaglesLanding.com for complete rules and details.
This Labor Day, put an end to junk sleep. Right now at Mattress Firm, save up to $500 on our top-rated brands when you get a king bed for the price of a queen or a queen for a twin. Plus, get a free adjustable base when you spend $6.99 on Sealy. On hot buys from top brands like Sleepy's or Serta. With our highly trained sleep experts and our low price guarantee, you can rest assured you'll get the best bed at the best price. Unjunk your sleep, only at Mattress Firm. Offer valid with qualifying purchase. Restrictions apply. Valid at participating locations only. For offer details, visit mattressfirm.com/sale.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm a broken traffic light. Stop and go is the name of my game. It's easy. You go, they go. Or was it they go, you go? And if you have the wrong car insurance, these repair costs could stop you in your tracks. So get Allstate's new low auto rate and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Not available in every state based on coverage and limits selected. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Let me tell you about the Lumberjack Restaurant in West Branch. Now, if you're fixing for one of those meals where you need to wear a trash bag just to eat it, Lumberjack Restaurant has the answer to your cravings. Try the Lumberjack patty, bacon, mushrooms, onions, cheese, with a big old pile of pot roast and barbecue sauce on top that'll make you go, "Ew, wait," with each bite. So get your axe up to the Lumberjack Restaurant in West Branch, exit 212, I-75, where hunger goes to die.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom. This is Wsgw News.
Mostly sunny skies and 69 degrees at 9:05. Good morning. I'm Mike Pritchett. Saginaw Police Chief Bob Booth says he understands the strain recent violence has had on the community of the Saginaw and wants to remedy it with more neighborhood communication. Here's WSGW's Rick Antonio.
Speaking at this week's Neighborhood Association Action Group meeting at Bliss Park, Ruth says while violent crimes like homicide and related shootings are a concern for everyone, many people are concerned about issues in their immediate surrounding area, like fighting, shouting, and reckless driving.
Cars with no plates, shots being fired, people being shot, all different kinds of concerns that go on in the neighborhoods. You don't tell us what's wrong in your neighborhood, I can't fix it. None of us can fix it. They want to keep their neighborhood safe. Some of them feel that we need to get rid of this tax cap that's holding the city down so that we can afford to have more officers, firefighters, other services within the city.
He adds that sessions returning to this year, like the Neighborhood Association meetings, have given both Saginaw police and residents a platform to speak with each other when they may not have normally. Rick Antonio, News Radio 100.5 and 790.
The 23-year-old woman has been charged in a stabbing incident in Thomas Township. The police responded to Covenant Healthcare on August 13th for a report of a 25-year-old woman who arrived with stab wounds. The victim, Desiree Cummings, was stabbed multiple times at her home in the 8,000 block of Area Drive. Police arrested Nikki Cortez. Cortez is charged with assault with intent to murder and is being jail on a $50,000 bond. The 29-year-old man is charged with armed robbery after robbing a Cotchville Township Rite Aid on Saturday night. The police say Aquarius Jones entered the store at 1470 Tittabawassee Road around 9 p.m. and produced a firearm, demanding cash from two clerks. He fled the store on foot after receiving an undisclosed amount of money. Neither clerk was injured. Police arrested Jones shortly after the robbery and found a firearm plus $1,500 in cash. Jones is also charged with felon in possession of a firearm. He has a preliminary hearing September 2nd. WSGW News Time 907.
It could be the best years of your life in retirement. You want to do, but you have to plan for it. Start by tuning into Mindy and Nolan McIntosh of McIntosh & Associates every Sunday at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Make retirement the best time of your life. Tune in Sundays at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Perfect. Hey, golfers, this is Dan Pohl, and I know your golf games aren't always perfect, and that's okay. Perfect golf experience, then come see us here at the Polecat. Don't wait. Go to polecat.net or give the Pro Shop a call. Remember, if your golf games can't be perfect, your experience can.
Perfect.
WSGW News Time, 9:08. The weather forecast is next. The FBI believes he drove the police officer down the flight of stairs during the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol. Now, Logan Barnhart of Hazlitt is in custody, arrested by the feds on a 6-count indictment. The 40-year-old Mid-Michigan man calls himself a physique competitor. His Instagram private was filled with photos as well as romance novels covers he had modeled for, also listing his profession as a pipe layer and heavy machine operator. Barnhart and 3 others are charged with forcibly assaulting a D.C. Metro Police Department officer with a baton, flagpole, and a crutch. A 3-bill package has passed through the Michigan House addressing election integrity. Here's WSGW's Ann Williams.
The bills will keep voting machines and electronic poll books from being connected to the internet until votes have been counted. Republican Representative Phil Green of Millington says it will eliminate questions about the outcome.
When people make an accusation or they of concern, it is incumbent upon every one of us as leaders to look into it, and I did. Looked into the different thoughts and topics, and I found out that it was a possibility. So we want to make sure close that possibility.
President Trump's claims of fraud in the 2020 election have led many state legislatures to look into changing voting procedures. The Michigan Senate will consider the bills next. Ben Williams, News Radio, 100.5 and 790.
When you see news happening, call WSGW's newsroom at 752-2079. And at 9:10, I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology Forecast. Patchy fog possible in spots early today. Otherwise, partly sunny, showers and storms in the area, mainly during the afternoon. Highs will top out near 85 degrees. It's around 5 miles per hour. Tonight, any storms and early, otherwise partly cloudy to mostly clear skies. Lows drop to 67. Thursday, plenty of sunshine, chance for showers and storms redeveloping. Highs head back into the 80s, and then Thursday night clear to partly cloudy and lows fall back to 66. Here's the WSGW Weatherology Forecast. Right now it's 70.
The only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Blue 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online WSGW.com.
Well, good morning to you and welcome to another edition of the Art Lewis Show for Wednesday, midweek. Nice to have you with us. And going to talk about a lot this morning. After 10 o'clock, we're going to talk about those scooters tooling around our various locations in the Great Lakes Bay region. At 11 o'clock, Westside Decorating will be our focus on Focus. But for this hour, we're going to start out talking about something that has been in the news over the years several times. Since I moved here in 1974, I think I have heard no less 2 or 3 attempts at saving the Potter Street station in Saginaw, the old railroad terminal, one of the last Victoria terminals in the country, second largest in the state of Michigan, but in great disrepair and in a blighted area of the city. Well, there is now another attempt, if not an attempt, at least an initial inquiry as to the feasibility. But this time it's different, because this time it actually comes with an idea, and an idea that might actually make sense. And we're going to find out about that this morning, because this idea was the brainchild of the executive director of STARS, who we welcome back to the program, Glenn Steffens. Glenn, good morning to you. Morning, Art. All right, so did you take your temperature this morning? Are you sure you're healthy and everything is okay with this suggestion?
Yeah, there's no mental illness or anything going on here.
Well, I have to tell you, after reading some of the information about it, it is a really interesting idea that we're going to discuss this morning. And I have to tell you, from my viewpoint, I am a great rail fan, and I am a great fan of old stations like that. And it was a great disappointment to me over the many years to see it lie in disrepair and have its roof cave in and all of that stuff. I always thought if somebody could come up with a feasible idea that station had potential. So let's start with your concept. What would you eventually like to see at the Potter Street station?
Oh, wow. Yeah, so that's the big question, and that's really what helped us propel forward with the concept, is that we have what you would call a multimodal transportation facility. So it's a bus station. It can eventually, if we can get Amtrak back through, hook up with rail to the front out to the Bay Area or wherever those tracks go. I probably don't know as much about rail as you are. And then charging stations for vehicles, parking ramp. Believe it or not, our city doesn't have a parking ramp at our bus station. If you fell in, I hear that, and people say, "Oh, the roof fell in. What are you going to do with that?" I say, "Well, that's perfect. We don't have to take it off when we put on a solar roof." Have a self-sustaining, state-of-the-art green facility that still has that 1800s Victorian look to it, and restoring this thing to, hopefully, it's doable, to its original state. Is to have this district down there come back as well around it. You've got all these empty lots, blighted land, and I see their opportunity for more transportation facilities, probably facilities where private businesses can lease out and, have a little coffee shop at the bus station, or after you get off the train, pop into a little restaurant. There's 20,000 square feet of space inside that facility. It is huge.
Yeah, but the question is, can the building be saved? And I think that's always been the question.
And I have, actually, it's, this really got wheels here on it. And you guys can pat yourselves on the back for this. When I was on your show and I mentioned this idea, one of the caretakers, one of the members of the organization that owns this building, heard that show and reached out to us and called up my people and said, "What are you guys talking about Potter Street? We own Potter Street." And Denise Meyer, the president of that organization, was kind enough to give us a tour. And I sat down, and they had a lot of concerns. They've been approached over the years multiple times with people who didn't have visions that necessarily lined up with their goal, which was to preserve the building.
Right.
And we gave them our spiel and explained our vision for it, and it seems like it's right in line with what they wanted. So they've been holding on to this building for, 30 years?
A long time.
Waiting for the opportunity. Doesn't want to tear it down, doesn't want to substantively change the outside of it, but to restore it. So that has been really awesome. And as soon as we got their go-ahead and rubber stamp of approval, if you will, it ended up in legislation from Congressman Kilby. It's moved its way over to the Senate, and hopefully the president will sign that thing, and we'll get money for it. Well, this is, I should mention, as you kind of said at the beginning, a study.
Right. I wanted to clarify that.
What it would cost, whether it's feasible to redevelop it, and how to kind of plan for a new district on the north side of the city, which is just a ghost town.
Well, and that's an interesting observation, because if you were to put in an intermodal center like that, it in of itself would change the complexity in a positive way of all the surroundings. And that area has suffered probably as much as any area in the city in terms of blight. And that station is the leading blight factor sitting there, so it really is an idea maybe whose time has come. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what that study says, because in that study, are you going to figure out how much it would cost to do this?
Yeah, and what we do is we take it out to firms and look for bids and even is useful.
Yeah.
The study we want to do, we want to have a comprehensive thing that says not only here's how much it costs, here's what you can do with the building, but here's what you should do to try to revitalize this area too.
Yeah. It's an interesting concept. And next week, my wife and I are going to be in Maine, and one of the places we're going to be in Portland has an intermodal or what they call a transportation center. It's a bus line, Concord bus lines, and Amtrak. And the interesting thing is there's been a recent study that said Amtrak ought to move because the track's not in a convenient place. It takes an extra 15 minutes to get into the station. They want to move the tracks to find a more convenient location. But the concept of an intermodal facility has been around a long time, and we never heard it mentioned in terms of the old Potter Street station. It's an interesting concept. How long?
Yeah, it's it used to be a train station. Why not make it a train station? Passengers running through.
Well, I would love to see that myself. I think what you're going to find is that the state of Michigan has to have a big say in that because it would be a subsidized route, just like the Wolverine route is, and the route through Flint and the route through Ann Arbor to Chicago. They're both subsidized by the state. So you'd have to have pretty substantial state subsidies to Amtrak to get that done. But still, any other concept, how about light rail, Another possibility, but all of them cost money. That's the bottom line, isn't it?
Yeah, and then the first step is just to ask what's it going to cost, and then can this building do it?
Yeah.
And I'm really hopeful that the answer is going to be yes. And as far as the amount, it's clear that if we do get the go-ahead, I think there's no way to move forward on this without federal dollars to get that kind of capital. But to see that interest in this city, in Saginaw, is really encouraging.
Yeah.
The federal government's actually moving on, in Saginaw. The other part of our ask to Representative Kildee, I should mention, was for a grant for 7 buses for STARS, and they did include that in there too. And that's a much more expensive ask than a $200,000 study.
Yeah. These would be new buses? So, as opposed to the used ones, would these be brand new? Yeah. That would be unique.
We got a lot of new buses on the way. I've got 6, as long as we don't have a production holdup, that should come in this fall. And then in the next couple of years, we'll have another 8. And then hopefully this 7 that I just mentioned.
And these would be quite brand new as opposed to old ones that you rehab.
As skilled as I've become at buying used buses, I look very much forward to start running a lot newer vehicles.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
And if we get into this Potter Street thing, what we'll see is STAR is able to convert over to electric or alternative powered buses as well.
Hang on to that thought. I want to talk about going green in the transportation industry with you. Glenn Steffens is with us from STARS, a proposal to maybe someday down the road with a vision, save the Potter Street station. Let us take a pause, and then we will come back with more. And while we pause, let me talk about something personal, because I'm asked all the time, who do I do business with? And I have said many times in this program, I prefer to shop local with local folks who are invested in the community. And thus, I tended to seek out those businesses and organizations and people who fit that image, if you will. And I've been asked a number of times who I deal with for my insurance. And now, while I'm dealing with a national company, that's Allstate, and I've been an Allstate customer for, I don't know, since 1974, actually. It's my agent that keeps me there. And my agent is Tom Soreski of the Soreski Agency out on Tittabawassee Road, west of the tracks in Saginaw Township. Tom has been my agent a long time, and he and his staff are knowledgeable. What I really like is they're good listeners. I can go in there and sit down and tell them what I need. They always provide me with the right advice and the plans I need to fit my situation, and they'll do the same thing for you. They can protect your home, your auto, motorcycle, RV, boat, motorhome, rental property, classic car. Yep, because Tom, while he's an Allstate agent, he also deals with a classic car insurance company. And he can provide specialty insurance for event coverage, things like weddings, and pet insurance for your cat or dog. The Wsgw agency also serves the business community with Allstate's supplemental health benefits. So, do as I do. Shop locally with a business you trust. I trust Tom Wsgw for all of my insurance needs. Visit his agency on Tittabawassee Road, just west of the tracks in Saginaw Township. You can call Tom at 989-497-0300. 497-0300, and please be sure and tell him I sent you. You're in good hands with Allstate, and even better hands with the Wsgw agency. We'll be back with Glenn Steffens and more talk on Potter Street and transportation after these notes.
There's never been a better time to switch to Spectrum Mobile. You could save hundreds of dollars on your mobile bill. Plus, there are no added taxes, hidden fees, and no contracts. Try the Spectrum Mobile Savings Calculator today, and in 3 easy steps, you'll see how much you could save by switching. Visit spectrummobile.com/save. Spectrum Internet required. Savings may vary. Restrictions apply. Visit spectrummobile.com/save for details.
Are you the parent of a 2 to 7-year-old? Listen video offer. By now you've probably heard of ABC Mouse, the Parents' Choice Award-winning online learning program that's actually changing the lives of early learners everywhere.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
Right now, we're offering a special radio promo to try it free for a month, but you have to go to abcmouse.com/radio to claim your free month. That's abcmouse.com/radio. Sponsored by Age of Learning.
I'm Connell McShane. This is the Fox Business Report.
There's another sign of builders' issues in putting up new homes. Housing starts, groundbreakings for new 7% in July. Builders have been saying they're dealing with lack of supplies and staff. Permits for new construction did increase by 2.6%. A sign building could be picking up in future weeks and months. More people have been shopping at Target in person this summer. The company says foot traffic rose more than 12.5% in July. Hanes Brands will require all its U.S. office employees to be fully vaccinated for COVID-19. There will be a confidential exemption process at Hanes for employees who are not vaccinated because of medical or religious reasons. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Coselda, invested in you.
You spent a long time tucked into your home, tucked into your autoplane streaming box. Not anymore. Now you can untuck a road trip, untuck a Saturday, untuck a Sunday tailgate too. Untuck whatever you damn well please. And if you want to look good while doing it, untuck with a shirt made for this moment. Untuck It. Shirts designed to be worn untucked. Find your perfect fit at untuckit.com or one of 80 plus Untuck It stores nationwide. Use code SUNNY for 20% off your first purchase.
Struggling with CPAP? Now there's Inspire, the only FDA-approved obstructive sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body to treat the root cause of sleep apnea with just the click of a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Visit InspireSleep.com to learn more.
Research shows that people remember radio ads with British accents. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need, take it from a Brit.
Oi, barmy insurance bloke stretching dosh out your pocket. It's barmy. Liberty Mutual won't leave you.
Can you just say Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need?
I think that's what I said, you blooming.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Pro football season's here, and pro roofers save valuable time with Beacon Pro Plus. Beacon Pro Plus works 24/7 for material ordering, order history, and automated promotion tracking, so you can get your favorite GAF roofing products even when working remotely. And now, order on Beacon Pro Plus and get a $175 gift card and a chance for a VIP pro football getaway. Gear up and raise your game with Beacon Pro Plus today. Build, score, and win at BECN.com.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robin show,
apparently it's no longer the job of the U.S. government to protect
Plus, of course, it's wearing a mask.
Portleaf and Camp and Robbins, weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW.
Well, we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. We're talking to Glenn Steffens from STARS, the executive director, about the notion of converting the Potter Street station into an intermodal station, transportation hub, if you will, that might include not only buses, but maybe rail service restored to Saginaw, which would be an interesting concept. But Glenn, let's talk. You mentioned the notion of greening up the transportation industry. We know there's a big push for electric cars, and part of the infrastructure package in Washington is to create this huge charging network across the nation. How far are we from public transit going electric?
For Saginaw, I'd say that the question hinges a lot on this Potter Street study. Nationwide, you've got transits that are already using electric buses out there. There's a few different brands, and the technology is still developing. I think it's going to be some years before we see everybody convert over to something like electric and get rid of diesel altogether. But the hope here in Saginaw is we can get to another facility that would allow us to have the infrastructure to put that in. These charging stations are huge. They take up a lot of room. And if you've seen our facility, we've got a roughly 40-year-old facility, and with not enough space for what we've got already. So that's kind of steered us away from trying to retrofit this building and kind of look at where could we do it more effectively.
I chuckle in some ways because we're sitting here talking about a future electric transit system. In fact, electric transit systems are as old as the hills, because I can remember many communities across the country having electric buses with overhead trolley wires running all over town. Electric buses are nothing new. It's a matter of how they're powered. Is it internal battery or is it external wires? I chuckle at the fact we're coming full cycle.
Yeah, we just added batteries to the mix and went back to an old 1800s, 1900s plant.
Exactly. What, in terms of, if you had to look 20 years down the road, what do you think Saginaw Transit will look like?
Well, with any luck, 20 years down the road, we'll have that Potter Street station refitted. That thing has its own top battery storage inside the building to charge the buses so we can generate that power and use it locally. So that'll cut down on expenses. It's a green, renewable resource. And hopefully, maybe even members of the public can charge their own vehicles around that area too, with this interest in charging stations for passenger vehicles. But 20 years out, I see a very different STARS, and I hope and aspiration towards a very different Saginaw, especially that north section.
So the one thing Potter Street Station does not have is a garage. And the building, at least superficially looking at it, probably doesn't lend itself to be a garage. So you would have to put some kind of maintenance facility onto it, wouldn't you?
Yeah, and that's where that land that's around it from all these demolished houses comes in. We look at putting in a bus maintenance facility. We do still have our downtown station, and that's got a big garage, so that might very well turn into just a maintenance portion of STARS. We would have some type of transit center and dispatch center, as well as probably a building for training. Hopefully we could use up to maybe an entire city block, maybe even more of some of this unused land bank-owned land that's currently not generating any tax revenue and doesn't really have a whole lot of appeal to people with, ironically, with the Potter Street station still standing. I've heard plenty of people talk about wanting to tear it down. There's too much work involved. It's an eyesore. And my answer is, it can be much better. We just have to ask the right questions.
And have the right money. I mean,
and have the money to back up those steps.
Yeah, that's the key. The stakeholders who own that building now, if you were to put a percentage on their degree of interest, how high is their interest in this type of a proposal?
What my feel was is they were extremely interested when they heard that what we were genuinely after, and that there wasn't any strings attached. Nobody was trying to play them or take the building away, or certainly take it down with subterfuge. So the level of support we got from the local owners was amazing. They've given us, and it was absolutely staggering to walk through this building and know that, this small group of local, just you and me type of people, that have an interest in this, have put in so much of their own time and money into restoring what they could, keeping what they could in place. You've got parts of that building that have fallen off, and they would have been lost forever with that art that's built into this building.
Yeah.
Those pieces have been preserved so that when somebody would come through, they could look at the original pieces and either fix them or replicate them and put them. I can't say enough about the level of work and the amazing caretaking of this building. Again, some people look at it and they see dilapidation and condemnability, but I look at it and I see the results of hard work of local people that have had a key interest in keeping this place going.
Yeah, and they've come to the precipice a few times in the past. But as I said in the beginning of the program, rarely was there a huge vision of what it might be. You come to the table at least with a vision, and that may put you in pretty good stead.
Yep, we had over 25 letters of support, not only from this local group that owns it, but from the city, churches, community committees. The outpouring of support for this idea, just for the study, is stronger than anything that we've proposed in the 5 years I've been at STARS. I've never seen such public interest in moving forward on something like this.
But keep me in the loop. Keep me in the loop, because I have an interest in this kind of thing. And let's, down the road. When do you expect the study to take place? Do you have any idea how long it'll take to get the funds to do that?
I don't know that the president signed the bill yet. As soon as he does that and the grant funds become available, we'll go out to bid with different firms and state what this vision is and what we need them to study.
And how long?
My hope is that we can have a study done within the next year or two.
That was my question: is how long the study will take? All right.
Yeah. Well, the next question is how long it takes to do the whole project.
Well, that years. One question at a time.
You got to move before the building gets any worse. Too.
Well, that's right. I mean, that's
we are under a time crunch.
You are. All right, Glenn. Well, listen, I appreciate the information, and it's something that interests me, and I'll be watching it closely.
Hey, yeah. Thanks for helping us think it wheels, Art.
No problem. We'll talk to you again. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Glenn Steffens is the Executive Director of STARS, the Saginaw Transit System, and a potential, and that's the word we have to use here, is potential, folks. At least somebody's got an idea, a vision, on saving the Potter Street Station. What do you think about that idea? I think it actually, because in its day, it was a magnificent structure. And it's one of the last Victoria-type stations in the country. It's worth looking at, particularly if it's a viable type plan, not just some pie in the sky, let's pour money into it and restore it, and there it sits, but actually a practical use. We'll take a break here and then come back. The lines are open for you, Saginaw Bay City, 752-6111. Toll free, 866-790-WSGW. Let me talk to you about Fairland Honda. As you probably know, many car dealers, if you've heard and watched the advertising, they're saying, buy now, take delivery when the car comes in. In other words, buy it on the fly. I got a better idea. Don't do that. Instead, go to Fairland Honda, where they have a supply of new vehicles on the ground, ready for delivery right now. during Honda's summer sales event. That's right. You buy it today, you drive it home today. And to sweeten the pot, there's 0% financing on select 2021 and 2022 models with terms and conditions applying. In addition, the 2021 Honda CR-V Passport and Odyssey were named Best Car for the Money by U.S. News & World Report. And 6 2021 Honda models received the IIHS Top Safety Rating. Now, I just want to stress Thalen Honda has new, and they also have pre-owned vehicles on the ground ready for delivery right now, and they're receiving new vehicles every week. So you stop into Thalen Honda, North Euclid Avenue in Bay City, to look over their inventory, or go online to thinkthalen.com. Test drive the vehicle of your choice, then sit down with a Thalen Honda representative and see how easy it is to make it yours and drive it home. Thalen family, in their 3rd generation of ownership, serving your automotive needs for 44 years. We'll be back with more after these notes.
Want to know how to nail down more construction jobs and give yourself a concrete advantage in a competitive industry? Become a certified lead abatement professional. Learn how to remediate lead safely and help Michigan families get lead out of their homes. Here's the drill. If you work in construction, you're eligible for the training, whether you're a painter, plumber, carpenter, electrician, or other tradesperson. With just 3 days of training, abatement worker. With 4 days of training, you can become a certified lead abatement supervisor. So give yourself a competitive edge while you help Michigan families live healthier lives. Learn more about lead abatement training at michigan.gov/lead workforce. That's michigan.gov/lead workforce. A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services.
There are many sides to running a business, and with Square, every side can be connected. So how you sell in person syncs with how you sell online, and how you take payments works with how you pay your team. All your tools work together. You can spend more time seeing your bigger picture take shape. See how Square can help connect every side of your business by visiting square.com/go/connect. That's square.com/go/connect.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
I'm one of thousands of women with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that has spread to other parts of the body. I'm living in the moment and taking Ibrance, palbociclib. Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for postmenopausal women or for men with HR-positive, HER2-negative MBC as the first hormonal-based therapy. Be in your moment. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com. Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
Direct from the Stone Specialist Studios, this is 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
Back with you on the All Lewis Show here on WSGW, and Paul is in Saginaw, so that's where we're going to go now. Paul, good morning to you.
Good morning, Art. I'll do a little reminiscing to some of your listeners here about the old Potter Street area back in the old days. I grew up in the 50s and 60s, and even before my time, before that, Potter Street was a very important shopping district.
Mm-hmm.
They had a lot of ma and pa destination businesses that people love to shop at. I'll give you some examples. They had a real poultry where they had the best chickens on the east side. And down there may have been Napolitanos, which, as you know, is very good bread. And the Powder Street train station used to have, back in the 60s, a lot of baseball excursions from a lot of these men's club halls down the Tiger Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
You'd get on the train on Sunday right after church and head on down to Detroit there, and the train station was very close to Tiger Stadium. And it used to be a lot of fun. They used to have on the train not only a lot of guys from the men's clubs, they used to have a refreshment train where you could get your refreshments, and they were all cans. And when the train moved forward, when you drank your can, you put it on the floor. The cans rolled forward, and when the train stopped, the cans underneath your seat rolled back.
Yeah, I know. I'm very familiar with that.
It used to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of important non-pod destination businesses on Powder Street.
Well, it kind of went down after the rail left, and that was 1964. They did run some freight in up through the 80s, but mainly the passenger trains disappeared in the mid-60s.
Yeah,
So,
and a lot of those non-pod destination businesses kind of one by one closed and slowly went away. But it was a very important shopping district at one time.
Yep, and then the disinvestment began, and now it's blighted. And I would, as a selfish person on this particular matter, I would love to see that train station restored. I think it's magnificent. However, as a realist, somehow the money's going to have to be justified, and it's going to be interesting. And Glenn is absolutely right. It'll take a lot of federal dollars to do that. But it's worth. I think the idea is worth looking at. Let's put it that way. I think the study is the right way.
If it could become a destination place like it used to be back in the old days, that would bring it back.
Well, it would take a lot of time.
Right next.
It's going to. You and I may never see that, but if it works in that direction, that'd be a positive thing. No two ways about it. No two ways about it. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks, Paul. Have a good one.
Okay.
Take care. Bye-bye now. We'll get to Dwayne in Frankenmuth after these notes here on WSGW, the Art Lewis Show, sponsored by Linda Shepard at Pinnacle Realty, located inside the Point in Saginaw. And the Point, of course, is located at M47 and M46. Now, new to the Point is Cafe 476, your new coffee stop with a bird's eye view, serving espresso coffee, tea, bubbles, lemonades, smoothies, frozen yogurt, and more, including the Art Lewis smoothie, which is chocolate, banana, and pineapple, and it is very good. Delicious baked goods, too, made fresh, local donuts, pastries, and danishes, just to name a few. And food items are added daily, like their cherry almond chicken salad croissant. So make sure to like them on Facebook to get updates on all their new menu items. You can fly in and visit the new Cafe 476 in the Point, where M46 and M47 meet off Gratiot in Saginaw. We will be back with more calls after this.
Small business owners know cutting costs without cutting quality is tough. How do you trim expenses without hurting your business? Easy. Get Spectrum Business. Call 888-489-2212. Switch to Spectrum Business and you can get the best internet and phone services for half of what you're paying today. Cutting costs can be easy when you get Spectrum Business. Just call 2212. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
Great Lakes Bay Health Centers would like to remind you that building a defense against COVID-19 will take all of us. That's why we're proud to offer not only COVID testing, but also free COVID vaccines at multiple locations. Visit GreatLakesBayHealthCenters.org for comprehensive information on locations and times near you. The only way this pandemic will end is with us. So let's all do our part to stay healthy and get vaccinated. Please remember to continue following safety measures to keep yourself, your family, and our community safe. Together, we can finally end COVID-19.
Guys, stop putting your love life on hold. U.S. Pharmacy has some exciting news. If you've been wanting to try Viagra or Cialis, now's the perfect time. Call today and receive 90 little blue or little yellow pills for only $119 with free shipping. Why order some low-dose sildenafil from one of those subscription services when we can give you what you want now? Call 800-990-6271 and we'll rush your order discreetly. Been thinking about trying Viagra or Cialis? Call U.S. Pharmacy at 800-990-6271 for as little as only $119 for 90 pills. Need your package in a hurry? Call 800-990-6271 and ask about our express shipping option, and we'll rush your order to you as soon as possible. Save money on the little blue or yellow pill you've been wanting to try. Again, 800-990-6271 now. That's 800-990-6271.
Attention! This is an important message for anyone drowning in credit card debt or struggling just to make minimum payments. If you have $10,000 in credit card debt, personal loans, medical bills, or collection accounts, you may qualify for our Debt Restart program with no upfront costs. Call us right now to see if you qualify. Or 6781. That's 800-384-6781. This program is designed to help get you out of debt in as little as 24 to 48 months, while paying only a small portion of what you owe. If you are facing financial hardship and are falling behind, or are struggling to make minimum payments, bankruptcy is not the way out. Don't wait. Enroll now, and there won't be any upfront cost or out-of-pocket expense. Start on your way to financial freedom. Let us help you with your credit card debt, personal loans, medical bills, or collection accounts now. Representatives are standing by to take your call. Don't wait. Call now. 800-384-6781. That's 800-384-6781. Paid for by Thomas Kearns McKnight.
The 0-2, a little pop fly in the right center. It's going to drop for a base hit. Castro hesitated, and now he's coming. He's going to make it. The Tigers take a 3-1 lead.
The Tigers play 6:50 tonight on 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here at WSGW. Let's get back to our phones. Dwayne is in Frankenmuth. Dwayne, good morning to you.
Good morning, actually, I'm at the Antique Warehouse, the booth, and I just want to let your listeners know we do sell the Potter Street T-shirts and so on. All the money goes to Potter Street. We provide them. We just sell them for it.
I'm glad to know that. I didn't know they were still around. I'm glad to know that.
Yeah. Yep. We're on Tittabawassee, just west of North Michigan, and we have them at the on display, the shirts and so on, at the rear of the mall, and any dealer who's working that day wear the shirts or whatever, and they will show you where they are, and you can help support the efforts of the Potter Street group.
I'm glad to know they're still out there. I appreciate it.
Yes.
Thanks, Dwayne.
You're welcome.
Thanks for calling.
Bye-bye.
Yep, bye-bye. I remember those shirts. I didn't know they were still around. I'm glad to know that. Interesting stuff. The idea of a transportation center like that is an interesting one. The obstacles, the hills to climb are enormous. Let's be realistic about that. Glenn has a vision, and it's a great vision. But it's not even a hill to climb, a mountain to climb, I think is pretty significant. It's going to be interesting to see. This is going to be something to really watch. The trust that holds the Potter Street station now, I mean, for years and years and years, have been trying to figure out how to save that building. And, this idea put forth by Glenn of an intermodal station and then developing the surrounding area, I think has some merit. I think that you know, if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, you get the same result. It isn't going to change. It takes a visionary sometimes and someone to push it forward. And if they have the year of Congressman Kildee and we're able to get some funding for study, more power to him. Moves in the right direction. I think that the notion of an intermodal is a good one. The question is, would an entity like Amtrak, even with state support, be interested in restoring rail service from, say, Bay City to Detroit, for example? Are the communities large enough to be starting points? That's an interesting question. I don't know the answer. I don't know the answer. It's just a question. Personally, I would absolutely love to see the station restored. I'd love to see rail service. Financially, not so sure the numbers work out. Scott's in Saginaw. Let's talk to Scott. Good morning, Scott.
Hey, good morning. I appreciate the focus that you bring on things in the community, but I'm not calling for that. I kind of got a little rant I wanted to go on today.
Okay.
And it's you know, like people like Carl and them, where are they at now with the criticism of the president? You know, we have chaos at the border. We have a withdrawal in Afghanistan that turned out to be a rescue mission. And if they're vetting these people like they're vetting them at the southern border, well, we could be in trouble with terrorists getting on these planes and coming here to live next door to us. And with that being said, where are the Democrats crying about the hospitals being overflooded? Why aren't they yelling and screaming at the president to build a hospital, to bring the nursing ships in? It's just silence. And yet these people were they had the audacity to go out to Trump and say, this man had 2 scoops of ice cream with sprinkles. I don't understand it. Right? They were so petty with that man, but they all keep their mouth shut.
Let's be realistic, Scott. They look at it through their eyes as they see politics, and you or maybe me, we look at it differently. It's what makes a horse race in this country. But I agree with a lot of what you said. But I do think this. I think the people coming over from Afghanistan on the planes are far more vetted than the people coming across the border in the South. So I'm less worried about that than I am what's happening at the border, where half of them get through and don't get stopped at all.
I agree.
To me, the biggest issue, I mean, there's lots of big issues in this country. We all know we need infrastructure, all that stuff. But to me, and it has always been, you cannot have a country if you don't have borders. And they need to be secure. And I don't see it happening.
No, they're not under this regime. They're not going to. We have wide open borders. They're suing contractors that are trying to build the wall.
Yeah, no. So it's going nowhere. Hey, I got to run because I'm out of time here. But appreciate it.
Hey, thanks, Art.
You bet. Russ, we're not going to get to you this hour, but we'll have some open phones next hour after the early part of the show. So call back, and we will be back to close out after these notes.
Have you heard about all the benefits of joining? The great rates, the member give back. Membership sounds... You're not eligible, right? Wrong! It's easier than ever to join.
I thought only immediate family of DCECU members could get in, but I was wrong. My Uncle Earl is a member, so now I can be a member too.
I'm eligible through my support for community organizations. I didn't even know that was possible.
I didn't realize that employees of nearly 100 companies can join DCECU. I was able to become a member because I work for one of them.
If you're not a member, you can be. Find out how at dcecu.org. Membership eligibility required, while member give-back rebates and rewards. This credit union benefit is not guaranteed. Not all loan and deposit products are eligible for member give-back consideration. Some limitations apply. Insured by NCUA. For the ones going above and beyond. For the ones reaching out, helping out, and lending a hand. For the ones people count on. You can count on Grainger. Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry. Backed by 24/7 customer support and specialists to help with hard-to-find products. Because you've got everyone's back. We've got yours.
Grainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
All right, about a minute left here on WSGW. Just time enough to recap that the STARS Transit System, Glenn Steffens, has been in contact with Representative Kennedy and with the folks that hold the trust on the Potter Street station. He has an idea for an intermodal type system, restoring the station to its glory and rebuilding that whole neighborhood. It's a very interesting idea. It's going to take a lot of money, a lot of time, but nothing happens if you don't start someplace. And maybe this is the point to start. Who knows? We'll have to keep our eye on it. It's an interesting proposal. All right, let's see. CBS News coming up at the top of the hour. That'll bring you up to date on everything national and international. And then we have the local report. Michael Percher bringing you up to date on things happening in the Great Lakes Bay region and the state of Michigan. We'll be back after the news to talk to Jeff Dehaven about scooters. And I think Rick Antonio is going to be joining us. We'll do that right after the news.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Vicki Barker in London. Taliban leaders say they won't. Terror experts fear they will turn Afghanistan back into a safe haven for terrorists, that is.
The risk is that Al-Qaeda or ISIS will use either Taliban-controlled spaces or ungoverned spaces to develop sanctuary again, which was what brought us.
Counter-terror Chief John Miller on CBS this morning. CBS News has learned the U.S. will block the Taliban's access to any Afghan central bank assets held in the U.S. Coronavirus. Pope Francis urging all eligible adults to get the vaccine. The Biden administration expected to confirm a little later that all vaccinated Americans should get a booster shot 8 months after their second jab. In at least 2 southern states, governors are clashing with some school districts over masks.
Republican Arizona Governor Doug Ducey is threatening to cut off some funding for school districts that defy his ban on mask mandates. That makes parent Abati Melissa Reed's children attend a Phoenix elementary school that requires face coverings.
I just think that's ridiculous not to penalize them like that. They need the money.
Florida's Republican governor is threatening to withhold the pay of school officials who defy his mask ban. Jim Crisula, CBS News.
Western wildfire, some 20,000 firefighters deployed, and they're being stretched thin. CBS's John Bigliotti is at the Caldor fire in Northern California.
This fire is dynamic, it is fast-moving, and it is unpredictable as these flames driven by high winds are blowing everywhere, including the embers. It started yesterday as a spark. It quickly grew, doubling in size to about 30,000 acres.
In Haiti, the death toll from Saturday's quake has risen to around 2,000. The search for bodies continues, and about 1 million survivors are facing new threats. CBS's Vladimir Duthier is in the town of Maniche.
The town's mayor, David Brunat, says about 98% of Maniche was destroyed.
They need water. Et nous besoin également assistance sanitaire.
And they need assistance with the sanitary conditions. This is exactly what leads to disease.
And now tropical depression Grace threatens to dump more rain on the worst hit area. In New York, R&B star R. Kelly in court to face federal charges related to decades of sexual abuse accusations. CBS's Jerika Duncan reports.
Kelly faces 10 years to life in prison if convicted on all charges in this New York case. Now, several women are expected to testify against Kelly. It's unclear exactly how many.
And stocks Dow down 24 points. This is CBS News.
With Indeed Instant Match, just sponsor a post and immediately receive a short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Are you the parent of a 2 to 7-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting free radio offer. By now, you've probably heard the Parents' Choice Award-winning online learning program that's actually changing the lives of early learners everywhere.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
Right now, we're offering a special radio promo to try it free for a month. But you have to go to abcmouse.com/radio to claim your free month. That's abcmouse.com/radio.
Sponsored by Age of Learning.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. On that heavy shelf you hung yesterday. Turns out you didn't use enough anchors. Wait, you didn't use any anchors? Now you got an open floor plan. Trendy. And if you have the wrong home insurance, you could need a wall of money to fix this. So get home insurance with Allstate and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Based on coverage and limits selected. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Vehicle and Property Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
So, what do you think? You nailed the custom cabinets.
And the countertop is perfect.
Nice.
I'm in love with my kitchen again.
Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Showroom and Design makes your dream spaces a reality with custom cabinetry and a variety of countertop options like Corian, granite, and quartz, offering both in-store and in-home personalized consultation. We're with you from inspiration to installation. Your dream space is just a phone call away. PremierKitchenandBathGallery.com.
Let me tell you about the Lumberjack Restaurant in West Branch. Now, if you're fixing for one of those meals where you need to wear a trash bag just to eat it, Lumberjack Restaurant has the answer to your cravings. Try the Lumberjack Burger. Double ground beef patty, bacon, mushrooms, onions, cheese, with a big old pile of pot roast and barbecue sauce on top that'll make you go, "Ew, wait," with each bite. So get your ass up to the Lumberjack Restaurant in West Branch. Exit 212, I-75, where hunger goes to die.
From the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Partly cloudy skies around 74 degrees at 10:05. Good morning, I'm Mike Percha. The 17-year-old Gratiot County teen is receiving probation for the accidental shooting death of his 11-year-old sister. Corbin Loveland pleaded guilty earlier this year to killing his sister Addison with a 20-gauge shotgun at their Arcata Township home in 2019. While tried in adult court, he was sentenced Monday as a juvenile. During his probation, Loveland must remain under curfew for 3 months, not own or live in a residence with a firearm, complete a psychological evaluation when requested by the state, cannot violate criminal law, or leave the state without the court's permission. The probationary terms will be revisited after 2 years. Browners Christmas Wonderland in Frankenmuth will be filling a number of positions at its job fair on September 8th. Interested individuals should enter Brown at noon and 5 p.m. and come to the program center in Section 2. On-the-spot interviews will be held for a variety of part-time seasonal positions, including sales clerks, cashiers and packers, customer service, catalog operators, and more. Starting wage is $11.50 an hour. Browners offers 50% more wages on Saturday evenings and Sundays, an employee referral program, uniforms, a generous employee discount, and set schedules. For more information, call Browners at 989-652-9931. The Bay County Board and the Bay County Executive are reminding residents, community organizations, and stakeholders that the deadline to take part in a public input survey is this. Officials will use the survey results to decide how to use $20 million in American Rescue Plan Act funding the county will be receiving. County leaders call it a once-in-a-generation opportunity for the community to benefit from federal resources. The public input survey can be found on the Bay County website. WSGW News Time 10:07.
Guys, stop putting your love life on hold. U.S. Pharmacy has some exciting news. If you've been wanting to try Viagra or Cialis, now's the perfect time. Call today and receive 90 little blue or little yellow pills for only $119 with free shipping. Why order some low-dose sildenafil from one of those subscription services when we can give you what you want now? Call 6271, and we'll rush your order discreetly packaged to your door. Been thinking about trying Viagra or Cialis? Call U.S. Pharmacy at 800-990-6271 for as little as only $119 for 90 pills. Need your package in a hurry? Call 800-990-6271 and ask about our express shipping option, and we'll rush your order to you as soon as possible. Save money on the little blue or yellow pill you've been wanting to try. Again, 800-990-6271 now. That's 800-990-6271.
It's time, 10:08. The weather forecast is coming up. This 4-year-old girl, Madison Yale, has been found safe near Engadine in the UP. The autistic and nonverbal girl was found and reunited with her mom late Tuesday afternoon. 400 people helped in the search for the girl, who had been missing since Monday. The search effort included a helicopter, drones, dog teams, and people on horseback. With the ongoing chaos in Afghanistan following this past week's Taliban takeover of the country and the U.S. evacuation, many Metro Detroit area families are worried about the fate of relatives. Here's Michigan News Network's John Hewitt.
Among those hearing the stories of local Afghan-American families worried about relatives back in Kabul and elsewhere in Afghanistan is Imam Ebrahim Kazarouni with the Islamic Center of America in Dearborn. Already, he says, there are reports of Taliban retribution.
Tribal retribution is immediate. We have already heard 3 interpreters being beheaded because of their cooperation and association with the United States. So the future is bleak.
Despite 20 years in country, Imam says the U.S. never succeeded in winning the hearts and minds of everyday Afghanis. And he says he's wary of the promises being made by safe passage for those who want to leave Afghanistan, or the quality of life they say will exist for those who remain. John Hewitt for the Michigan News Network.
We're 3 days away from the Woodward Dream Cruise, a special event for those who have anything to do with automobiles. Here's Autobit reporter Jeff Gilbert.
Cars are an emotional purchase, and people who buy the classics at Cruise Woodward are really connected with their vehicles. Mikhail Haggerty runs the company that insures those classics.
This idea of renewal and promise and just that fun and freedom of the open road is why the car is so special.
Haggerty says he's seen growth in younger people buying classics because the vehicles harken back to an era haven't experienced.
News happening. Call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. It is 10:10. I'm Mike Burchard.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology Forecast. We have rain showers in the forecast and a few rumbles of thunder. Partly sunny skies. Temperatures warm to the mid-80s. East-northeast winds 5 to 10. Tonight, a slight chance for showers and thunderstorms early. Partly cloudy, 66 for your low. Thursday, sunshine, mid-80s. A slight chance for showers and thunderstorms during the day. Showers and night, clear skies, 65 for your low. Friday, we'll see plenty of sunshine as we warm into the upper 80s. 89 with sunshine for Saturday, just a slight chance for showers. I'm Andy Faluber with the WSGW Weatherology Forecast, currently 74.
The only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
All right, welcome back. Welcome back to hour number 2 of the Art Lewis Show for this Wednesday morning. Nice to have you with us this morning. This hour, we'll also hear from Kerry Henney, who's out and about doing something. I'm not sure what. We'll find out this morning. We'll hear from him a couple of times this hour. And we also I'm going to talk about something that is growing in this area. You've probably seen these scooters around, and we're going to talk about that this morning. We have a guest. I see his site, but I don't see him. But let's see what we have. We don't have him yet, all right. But in studio with me is also this guy, Rick Antonio, and the reason Rick is with us this morning is that he's been following the scooter stories and providing news on them in our newscasts. And you've dealt with Jeff. Is that correct?
Yeah, as best we can. I've been trying to keep up on the scooter stories, both on throughout all three cities, Saginaw, Bay City, and.
Well, Jeff put his camera on, but I don't see Jeff.
Yeah, he just popped it on and popped it off, so he's there. He's there and he's listening.
Oh, he is. Are you there, Jeff? Oh, I don't hear him. All I see is a desk sideways. So let's talk about the scooters for a minute. There we go. All right, let me. As soon as he gets his stuff set up, now we'll click on it. There we go. Good morning, Jeff.
Good morning. How are you?
Can you hear us, Jeff?
Yes. Can you hear me?
He might be muted.
Are you muted, Jeff?
No, I'm not.
There you go. We got you.
Hello.
Gotcha.
You got me now?
Yep, we got it. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about the scooter business and leave them set up this way. What we did, didn't we? Jeff disappeared. Jeff, sign on again. And we'll wait for Jeff. So, technology is wonderful, folks. Most of what we're doing is using video, so, but as far as the radio goes, we're still here. The scooters first started, I think Bay was the first to have it, wasn't it? Or was it Midland?
It would have been Midland, yeah.
Midland?
I'd say around May or June.
Is it the same company in all these locations?
All three do have the same company. I'm pulling up the app as we speak. They've got an app where you can log on and you can see the scooters available throughout the city that you're in. And all you do is
it tells you where they are?
It tells you exactly where they are.
Okay.
I almost think it's a fine detail. You get into, it's on this corner at this place with this much battery left in it.
Oh, okay. All right. And there's Chip back again.
He's coming back on.
All right. There we go. All right. We got you back, Jeff.
Back in the studio.
We got you. All right, Jeff, tell us about what's your relationship, first of all, with the scooters?
Yeah, I apologize. Tech hates me this morning. My computer restarted it 5 times.
What's your relationship to the scooters?
Sure. So I'm kind of, I guess you could call it the franchise manager. Midland was the first location that they launched. And so I was able to kind of jump in and kind of oversee that operations. They allow me to pick where the scooters go on a daily basis. I'm kind of the contact to the city if there's situations that they need assistance with. We're the ones that put them out every morning, pick them up every night, and charge them and repair them and all those different things.
And they're in Saginaw, Bay, and Midland now, right? All 3 cities have them?
Correct. But I just operate the Midland one.
You just operate the Midland one. What's the safety record of these things?
So certainly with everything, you want to ride at your own risk, at your comfort level. But we've been fortunate that everybody's been safe that I'm aware of. I haven't had any reports of incidents, so it seems like people are driving safe and being responsible on them, and that's what we want to see.
Now, in the case of the safety records, I just want to speak because there were a couple of, I don't want to say issues, but there were a couple of reported and in Bay City of people injuring themselves, having to go to the hospital. But both of these cases, the people have admitted openly on Facebook and social media that they weren't completely at fault and they weren't hit by cars or anything like that. They just fell off.
Which, obviously you have to have a certain level of skill to ride these things, right?
Just like riding a bike.
And you're out of sync, Rick, which is why I made your image smaller. Jeff, what are the requirements to ride one of these things? Is there an age limit? And do you require a helmet or anything of that nature?
Yes, so you have to be 18 or older to ride them, valid driver's license, and then a helmet is certainly recommended for your safety. And then some other requirements is they're not permitted on sidewalks due to safety. We want you to ride them in the bike lane as you would a traditional bicycle. And just be on kind of the roadway and things like that. Each city has destinations that they do not allow these on. Like, for example, Midland does not want them on the rail trail because motorized vehicles are not allowed. There's other city landmarks that they're also not allowed. So when you download the Bird app, you're going to see like red blocks. and that's where you know that the scooters aren't permitted. And if you try to ride them in those areas, they will automatically shut down. And then you can push them around and kind of go back to a destination that you can ride them in.
So they're geofenced.
Correct.
Yeah. I ride golf carts like that. River. I ride golf carts like that keep me away from the greens. So,
there you go.
Yeah. What's the average life of the charge on these things?
So they can go about 30 miles on a traditional charge, which is usually about 6 rides or so per unit.
Typical ride has how far? How long would you say a typical ride is?
Usually it's just a couple of miles.
Mostly at this point, they can only go, they're capped at about 15 miles an hour max, right?
Yeah, 15 to 18 is the max. Certainly the city has the ability, like they do in downtown Midland on the main street, to lower that speed, and I believe they're about 8 miles an hour on the main drive. But when you get outside of that destination, you can go a little bit faster.
Now, is that up to the rider to control that speed, or is the scooter limited to 8 miles an hour when it's downtown?
The city is able to limit and set the speeds in certain areas, and I know they've done that in Midland. I don't think they've done it in the other 2 territories, but also the rider can control how fast they go as well, anywhere that they're at within that within the riding.
The city can control it? The city can limit the speed of that scooter?
Correct. The city provides the permit for us as a separate operations to run. They also set where they can be at in the city. They set, like you said, speed zones. They set off-limit areas and those types of things.
And what does it cost to ride a scooter?
So it's $1 to unlock it, and it's 38 cents to 39 cents a minute, depending on where you're at. The average person spends about $8.50 to ride them around. So they're pretty affordable in that regard. I see people riding them to work almost daily. Certainly college students rely on them a lot. So it's great to see that people, Bird is actually surprised with the numbers of usage that we are seeing in these territories. And they're actually working to get us more units because of the popularity of these.
What is Bird?
So Bird is the scooter company. So there's 3 main ones: Bird, Spin, and Lime. So it's kind of like a Uber and a Lyft. They're just the companies that produce the scooters and have the software and the equipment and all those different things. They're actually the ones that own the scooters. We don't technically own them, nor do the city. So the company fully owns them, licenses them, all those different things.
So when you go into an enterprise like this, there's always a business plan and what you expect. How has the scooter usage measured up to what was expected?
It's blown it out of the water. Like, I remember our first week in Midland, the company said that this is because I was getting frustrated because they were dying so quickly, and I was like, what is going on? But they're just like, it's a good problem. They're just getting overused. But they were blown away by the numbers. They said this is performing higher than most senior cities and senior locations. So Midland has been blowing up. Bay City as well. Saginaw, we need a little bit more support there. We're hoping that we can get it in more territories. And then they're going to be coming here to Mount Pleasant probably within the next month.
All right, hang on. I got to take a break, and then we'll come back and talk more. And Rick Antonio with us will have questions for you, too. Here on WSGW, the Art Lewis Show, we will pause when we come back. We'll also hear from Terry Henny and more ahead on the scooters here on WSGW.
Owners know cutting costs without cutting quality is tough. How do you trim expenses without hurting your business? Easy. Get Spectrum Business. Call 888-489-2212. Switch to Spectrum Business and you can get the best internet and phone services for half of what you're paying today. Cutting costs can be easy when you get Spectrum Business. Just call 888-489-2212. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
This Labor Day, put an end to junk sleep. Right now at Mattress Firm, save up to $500 on our top-rated brands when you get a king bed for the price of a queen or a queen for a twin. Plus, get a free adjustable base when you spend $6. Up to 50% on hot buys from top brands like Sleepy's or Serta. With our highly trained sleep experts and our low price guarantee, you can rest assured you'll get the best bed at the best price. Unjunk your sleep, only at Mattress Firm. Offer valid with qualifying purchase. Restrictions apply. Valid at participating locations only. For offer details, visit mattressfirm.com/sale.
The pandemic's reminded us we live in a sea of airborne germs that can assault us with every breath. Your nose is the body's first line of defense by helping filter out allergens, bacteria, and viruses before they reach your lungs. So how do you clean your nose? Navage uses powered suction to flush out congestion, or worse, can make you sick. Over 2 million people use Navage to breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier without drugs. Go to Navage.com or find Navage at Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, and Target.
Do you even remember the last time you changed your spark plugs? Well, then now's a good time. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts and get a $15 gift card after mailing rebate when you purchase 4 or more select Iridium spark plugs. Put the pep back in your car. Visit your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store or shop O'ReillyAuto.com.
I'm Liz Clayman, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks opened lower, though investors are looking at upbeat earnings news from Target and Lowe's. Target sales at stores and online were up nearly 9% in the early summer quarter compared with a year ago. Home improvement retailer Lowe's quarter was also stronger than forecast. And TJX, parent company of TJ Maxx, reported a better quarter than predicted. The latest reading on the housing market confirms that building for new homes has stalled. Housing starts declined 7% last month. Permits for new construction. PayPal says it will stop charging late fees for missed payments on its buy now, pay later services. It launched a pay in 4 installment option last year. The change starts with purchases made starting in October. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
Oh, according to research, 82% of people remember radio ads. So 82% of you listening will remember that this is an ad for ZipRecruiter. 82% of you will note that if you're hiring, ZipRecruiter finds qualified people for your job. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And you can try ZipRecruiter for free, but you have to go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Yes, free. Again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Michigan Wolverines football is back. The Maize and Blue kick off the new season on September 4th against Western Michigan at 11 a.m. on 790 News Radio. W.
We're out on the road again. Today, we are down in St. John's, to be specific, at 5605 Findlay Road in the St. John's area. This is the site of this year's Agro Expo. Quality information and demonstrations to benefit the grower. Good turnout yesterday, beautiful weather today for this event. All you have to do is just dial it up on your GPS at 5605 Findlay Road, St. John's, and it'll direct you right to the site. We had a number of exhibitors representing innovation, seed, chemical, and other areas of agribusiness to help your farm solve any situation that you might have. Agro Expo, this is the final day down here in St. John's. For more information, you can go to theagroexpo.com. Our reports today brought to you by the folks at the Frankenmuth Credit Union. To find out what they can do for you, just dial them up at frankenmuthcu.org. Back with more.
All right, Terry, we'll talk to you a little later in the hour. Right now, we're talking to Jeff Dehaven, who manages the bird schoolers in Midland, and Rick Antonio, our ace reporter who has covered the schooler rage here in the Great Lakes Bay region. So, Rick, I know you have some questions.
I did, and a lot of people both in Saginaw and New City. I haven't heard so much from people in Midland, but a lot of them are concerned. Again, Art asked about safety earlier. What can you say to sort of calm them?
Yeah, I think with anything new, it takes a little bit getting used to. Certainly, it's something that, stuck out as different initially. I think it's now starting to be integrated into people's natural flow of life. But I think people had to learn how to use them responsibly. Certainly, it all comes down to people respecting other people. And I think that we've grown to work together on that. It was something people didn't know quite the rules, and I think we did very well getting the rules out there. Certainly, it's a never-ending task,
Right.
but like you said, we've seen success as far as complaints going down, as far as working with all the different companies and businesses and residents to make sure that everybody is doing things in the proper manner. So that's how we can rest assured is that we're never going to stop with that communications and our way of making sure that people are safe and know the rules and know how to use the scooters properly.
Well, let me jump in for a second here with a question, because if I'm going to get in an automobile and drive, I have to have insurance. Who has insurance on the scooters, and what does it cover?
Yeah, so certainly since we don't technically own the scooters as far as the operators in these territories, Bird, the company does, and so they carry all of the liability insurance. I actually checked with 10 different companies, and I wasn't even able to get the insurance needed because of this industry. So so they carry all of that, and that covers, all of the liabilities that you could think of. Just like when people go to rent a jet ski, typically the user doesn't have, insurance. They rely on the jet ski company to do that. So certainly they all have their own personal liability insurance and those types of things that could come into effect. But that's, typically how we look at it is when you rent anything that you operate in that regard.
And the people that are posting about, these kids are leaving the scooters on my lawn, they're leaving them in the middle of the sidewalk. What are the, resolutions to that? I know it could just be as easy as get out there and move it out of the sidewalk, but at the same time, in some of those cases, people are getting frustrated.
Right. And again, it goes back to people understanding and being respectful. But with us, when we get those complaints, and like I said, the few and far between now, certainly the first month or so, it was a little bit higher as everybody was learning what this is and how it works.
Right.
But like you said, we rely and we appreciate any city resident that can help us out. And like you said, just moving it slightly out of the way benefits everybody. But we are out there constantly. If we get those, we get real-time notifications, and so we can go and grab them. We have multiple people now. We've, it took us some time to kind of build up a network of a team. So we have multiple hands on duty that can able to do that. I'm in Midland every day for something, and sometimes 3 times a day. So, we're always working together to make sure that that's reduced and that everybody's working in a way that's.
Let me ask Jeff, if I get on one of these scooters and I want to go from point A to point B, and my point B is a store in the middle of a block someplace, do I just leave the scooter wherever I get off of it?
Yes, yep. You can leave the scooter anywhere in the riding territory. Every scooter has GPS and has a SIM card, so we're able to see it in real time. Even if it dies, we have all kinds of tools to still track those scooters. But yeah, we just ask that you leave it in a safe place, certainly not blocking any handicap areas, any sidewalks, any fire hydrants, things of that sort. But yeah, you'd leave it anywhere you want, and you can actually reserve it when you go into that store. So when you get back, you know that it's still there, and you're able to go back to your home or work or wherever it is that you originally took the scooter from.
And that comes down to rider courtesy, too. That's not necessarily an issue by the Bird company. That comes down to the weaving into traffic, parking in the sidewalks. It's not necessarily the scooter's fault in this case.
Correct. Yeah, it all goes back to common courtesy and just respecting each other and respecting your city and taking pride in it. And there's a Instagram page for Grand Rapids lost scooters, and it's just showing the scooters all over town, and people leave them all over the place. But we're not seeing that in Midland, and I haven't heard that from Bay City or Saginaw. I work in Saginaw, live in Saginaw, so I keep an eye on those locations there too. And if I see one that's sideways, I'll go and pick it up and help out Eric in Saginaw. So just us working as a team has really helped keep the city clean, keep the units clean, and again, we appreciate any resident that sees one sideways just to pick it up, or to see one and the way to just slightly move it, you're able to do that, and that's very much appreciated by all of us.
So if I rent a scooter and I want to drive it someplace that's outside of the allowed territory,
yep,
I get to that line, it just shuts down?
Correct. And then you can just turn back around, and when you get back into the territory, it will go again. And we've had people, again, with their learning process, take them to Coleman and Hope and Mount Pleasant from Midland. Wow. And we had to go and retrieve those. Bullet Creek was another one. And as we've shown up at people's houses and be like, hey, we see that there's a scooter here, I think people are learning that, some people got confused that people were throwing them away because they just saw them on the side of the sidewalk and thought, but people learning that, we can track them and we will come get them because, we don't want to lose any of these units or have somebody using it for purposes that it's not intended for.
Now, I don't know how much time you've got left, Jeff, but at the same time, we do actually have a caller with a question on the scooters.
Okay.
So let's check in with Ron in Midland.
Yeah, hi. I missed the first part of the show. My question is, are these scooters allowed on the main streets, the city streets, and treated like bicycles? In terms of the drivers, how are we supposed to react to them?
Yeah, great question. So yes, they are permitted to be used in bike lanes. That's preferred. We do not want them used on sidewalks. So just be, like you said, the same courtesy as if you see a biker just kind of getting over a little bit and going around them like you would do any bicycle that is being utilized.
Not all streets have bike lanes. Streets without bike lanes, you just follow the same bike courtesies.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, I just was not sure. I haven't seen too many of them.
You probably see a lot more in the future.
I see them on the sidewalk sometimes.
Yeah, that's where they usually go after they're done being restocked and recharged.
Yep. All right. Good enough, Ron. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank you.
Are the sidewalks geofenced, or are people riding on the sidewalks? I know you don't want them to, but
some sidewalks are geofenced, but not all. That would be quite a task. But, anytime I'm out and about and I happen to see somebody on the sidewalk, I just remind them that they're not able to be used there. I mean, it says it in 3 spots on every scooter. Please do not ride these on the sidewalks.
Oh, they're all marked right then, huh?
Yes.
I mean, can anybody ride these? Are these easy to ride?
They are. That's the reason why I wanted to be part of this. I would go to Detroit or, San Diego, and this would be my preferred method of transportation just because you feel the fresh air, you're enjoying the environment, you're seeing the cities from a different perspective. And I've seen people in their 60s with the biggest smiles on their face, riding with their kids or grandkids and just having a blast. And that's what it's all about, and that's why I wanted to be a part of it. It's just... and even with the pandemic, you're riding by yourself and you're in the natural air. And so you're solo, and it's just one of the safest ways to ride. And you're also helping the environment with the eco-friendly transportation. So I love it. It's a blast. And anytime, I ride them as much as possible just to make sure all of them are working properly.
Yes.
And I love it.
I got to take a break, so hang on. We're going to pause, and then we'll be back. We're talking to Jeff Dehaven with Bird Scooters, a scooter company that has scooters in Saginaw Bay and Midland, and he is responsible for the Midland ones. And Rick Antonio with us in the studio, who's been following the story for WSGW. We will be back with more after these notes.
While you're comfortable inside your home or business, the weather takes a toll on your roof. Wind, rain, hail, UV rays, and the heat of the sun cause premature failure of your shingles. Everyone loves to save roof. Don't spend a lot of money on replacement. Get a Roof Max shingle treatment and get some peace of mind. Get more life for less money. Guaranteed with Roof Max, a powerful fusion of science and nature. Call Ben today at 859-6751.
So long, summer. Hello, $5,000. It's the send off to summer every Saturday in August at Saginaw Eagles Landing. Each week from 5 to 9 p.m., you can win up to $750. Then at 10 p.m., we're giving away $5,000 cash. It's the best way to cruise into autumn. Send off to summer. Only at Saginaw Eagles Landing. Run out. Visit saginaw-eagleslanding.com for complete rules and details.
Your day starts before the sun rises.
Once your boots hit the ground, you head out to a field, a barn, or a tractor. As stewards of the land, you know anything worth doing is worth doing right. At Farm Bureau Insurance, we've always believed in and practiced this same philosophy. From heaving bales and weaning calves to spring seeding and fall harvests, it's all about an honest day's work. Knowing your insurance provider is rooted in Michigan offers comfort. At Farm Bureau Insurance, the experience you get with officers is different. From financial security to a helping hand, Farm Bureau understands the experience matters. Find an agent who can protect what matters to you.
Find your coverage in Vassar, Millington, and Mayville at 989-823-8493.
I wasn't able to sleep in my own bed. Because of my wife's struggles with CPAP, I had to move out to the couch, out to the recliner, out to my son's bunk bed. That is, until she started using Inspire, a sleep apnea treatment that works inside her body with just the click of a remote.
Get back to sleeping in your own bed with Inspire. Now, best sleep. To learn more, visit InspireSleep.com. Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at InspireSleep.com.
The U.S. dollar is plummeting. Protect your savings against inflation with precious metals. I'm Dinesh D'Souza for Birch Gold Group. Birch Gold Group is who I trust to help you protect your IRA or 401k with gold and silver. With thousands of satisfied customers, an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau, get a free information kit by texting the word PROTECT to 989898. Again, text PROTECT to 9898 today.
On air and online from the Stones. This is 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, back with you here on the Art Lewis Show. Jeff Dehaven with Bird Scooters with us, but Jeff has to go, so I just wanted to take a second to thank you as you drive off. Hey, Jeff, you're not on the scooter.
I know. I got to go to my daughter's eye exam, but I appreciate the opportunity to be here this morning, and thank you for working with all my tech issues. I had a phone die and a computer die, so I went to Plan B, was the second phone to make this possible.
It worked fine. Listen, you drive and take care, and we thank you. We'll talk to you down the road. Take care.
Thank you guys so much. Appreciate it.
Bye-bye. Jeff Dehaven from Bird Scooters, and Rick Antonio is with me. You say we have callers?
Yeah, we've actually got 3 callers lined up.
And you followed it, so you can probably answer the question. So go ahead.
Most of the information I should be able to help
I'll
with.
sit back and listen to you.
Let's first get to Jeff in Bay City. Jeff?
Hello, how's everybody today?
Good.
Good. The scooters, with following bike rules, shouldn't they be driving on towards traffic?
One more time?
Changed it. You're supposed to ride towards traffic.
Opposing traffic.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, with bike laws. And then as far as you don't provide helmets or anything, so everybody wants to believe somebody's at their own risk, but
and the same could be said for motorcycles at this point too.
Yeah, but you have to actually pay a different insurance policy to even ride without a helmet legally.
Right.
And then how is the taxes on these things working with parking them on city sidewalks? Because you're not supposed to have any business on a city sidewalk.
That's an interesting question, Rick. Are they permitted? Does the city charge them for permitting?
City enters into an agreement with Bird, and that was an amendment. The exact word is slipping my mind, but they enter into an agreement with Bird to allow them to bring them to the city, let them ride on the streets, and park them in designated areas.
Is there a fee? Does Bird pay the city a fee to do that?
In some cases, yes. In Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, I'm not entirely sure, but in some cases, yes.
We'll have to look into that. That's an interesting question.
You see them sitting all over, it could be just about anywhere, literally. I guess when the battery dies, it's going to sit.
Well, and also you can leave it anywhere.
Yeah, and that comes into the rider courtesy. Be putting them when they're done out of the way of traffic, out of the walkways where they wouldn't be an issue.
But you can leave it in the middle of the block, not one of the designated areas. They'll come and pick it up there where people can use it.
We've all seen it. Yeah, I've seen it popping up, over the last year, and that's why I was just curious how that was working out because of being on the sidewalks. And
Okay. Very good, Jeff. Thanks. Take care.
Colin.
Yep.
Yeah, have a good day, guys.
You too. Bye-bye.
And up next, we've got Troy from Saginaw.
Morning, Troy.
I'm just now tuning in, so I maybe missed this, obviously. But I live in Saginaw, and I'm familiar with the Old Town District, and you see them all over down Old Town. How does one go about paying for the services for the scooters?
So what you do in that case, that would be you open up the... You have to go to the App Store, download the Bird Scooter app, and when you load into the Bird Scooter app, it asks you to make an account. When you make that account, and it's free to make the account, you do pair a credit card to it, and it charges you per minute and per usage as well to activate the device.
It's $1 to unlock, 38 cents a minute.
And I don't have the exact numbers as well, but there are programs you can put in if you're on state or government assistance to get lowered rates there too.
Oh. So just basically it's as simple as downloading the app, which is a very simple thing to do.
Exactly.
And then you go through the app and you just you're right.
Yeah, you scan, what it does is it opens up your camera and then you scan a QR code, the little pixelated squares on the handlebar of the scooter, so it knows exactly which scooter you're using. And you can find these scooters, like Jeff was saying earlier, they all have SIM cards in them with GPS, so you can find where the closest one to you is. In some cases, you can reserve them ahead of time, so that way you can make sure you get that scooter. And then once you get to the scooter, you just sign on and make sure you have it on there. And
that's all there is to it.
It's kind of like scooters for dummies.
That's it. Yeah, there you go. Very good. Thanks.
Have a great day.
Thanks for calling. Got another caller before we take a break?
That turned out to be Terry Henney.
Oh, okay. Well, fine. That's good. We'll take the break. And after the break, we'll hear more from Terry Henney, and then we'll be back with more here on the Art Lewis Show.
Perfect. Hey, golfer. And I know your golf games aren't always perfect, and that's okay. But if you want the perfect golf experience, then come see us here at the Pole Cat. Don't wait. Go to polecat.net or give the Pro Shop a call. Remember, if your golf games can't be perfect, your experience can. Perfect.
Designed for any room and any climate. Hi, this is Marianne. Solitech Luxury Vinyl Flooring from Mohawk offers unmatched durability with a range of stylish hardwood and tile visuals in multiple sizes and widths for maximum design flexibility. 100% waterproof, stain, and scratch resistant, your kids and pets are no match for Solitech. Come in and let our design team help you select the floor that you have always wanted. Warden Interiors on North Main Street in Frankenmuth will help you bring...
Let me tell you about the Lumberjack Restaurant in West Branch. Now, if you're fixing for one of those meals where you need to wear a trash bag just to eat it, Lumberjack Restaurant has the answer to your cravings. Try the Lumberjack Burger. Double ground beef patty, bacon, mushrooms, onions, cheese, with a big old pile of pot roast and barbecue sauce on top that'll make you go, "Ooh, wait," with each bite. So get your ass up to the Lumberjack Restaurant in West Branch. Exit 212, I-75, where hunger goes to die.
Hi, Tom Bodette from Motel 6, leaving the light and Peepaw and all the other ma's and paws visiting the close to 4 million grandbabies born last year who've only seen you on a laptop. To all the bubbies, nanas, and poppers ready to finally get your arms around those little loves, Motel 6 offers clean, comfortable rooms at a great low rate. We'll even call you D-Guy if you want. I'm Tom Bodette from Motel 6, and we'll leave the light on for you.
The WSGW.
The WSW online poll, Afghanistan, from 2001 to 2021. So the U.S. involvement in Afghanistan ending, takeover by the Taliban, the same militants that we were engaged to drive out of the country. Intelligence is being questioned. Politicians are playing the blame game, of course. The future of Afghanistan is being debated.
Our mission in Afghanistan was never supposed to have been nation building. He overruled his own military leaders, and he owns it.
Our poll question we ask of you is this. In your opinion, what should Americans involved in Afghanistan? We should still have a military presence to help the people against the Taliban or to help fight against terrorism. Or as much as we want to continue to help the people or have that fight against terrorism, is it time to get out right now? Is this the right thing to do right now? I'm not sure. What do you think? You want to know? Go to WSW.com. Scroll on the homepage, find that poll box, and make your vote that flag.
The Morning Team Show, weekdays 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
We're broadcasting this morning from the Agro Expo location on St. John's area. A little bit earlier, we had given you the address, and again, we want to mention that to you because it is out in the country. You more than likely will need a GPS in order to get out here if you're not familiar with the territory. It's 5605 Findlay Road in the St. John's area. This year's Agro Expo has got demonstrations going on. This year, they're highlighting choppers and tillage demos of specialized presentations covering various aspects of agriculture and the agriculture community. 4-H, FFA, they're all involved in this event once again this year. So we invite you to come on out. There's a lot to see, a lot to do, and a lot to participate in this year at this year's Agro Expo. Our reports are brought to you this morning by the folks at the Frankenmuth Credit Union. To find out what the credit union can do for you, just dial them up at frankenmuthcu.org.
All right, Terry, we'll hear more from you during the farm show and during next hour, too. We're chatting with Rick Antonio. Earlier, Jeff Dehaven on from Bird Scooters. He's the manager of the Midland Scooters. We're talking about the scooters around town. Had a question, an email from John, wanted to know if they put them up in the wintertime. When White Ice forms, are they going to be out scooting around on these
Around
things?
here, I would imagine no. They would go collect them and store them where they store them at the same time where they're charging them. And that's why they have these fleet leaders.
Any indication on expansion?
There was discussion when they first launched in Midland. I'd have to check to see if it's but the Midland fleet, and this is where Jeff would have been a great question because he's the leader of that fleet, was expected to enter the Dow industrial area as well. I can't imagine too many people would be traveling back and forth between Main Street and the industrial area, but the expansion is there.
Okay, I could see the use of scooters in the industrial area, getting from building to building, or but that would be a corporate contract they would probably have, I would imagine.
Sounds like. And what still gets me though is the discounts for those on state and government assistance, because for them to be able to work, similar to how Amazon was giving Prime discounts.
Yep. Do we see the fleets expanding within communities? In other words, if they've got 20 scooters out now, are we liable to see 40 down the road, or whatever the number is? I'm making it up.
That's how Bay City had been working initially. They launched 50 off the top of my head.
Oh, that many?
And Midland launched with 100, I think. And then Bay City started with 50, worked up to 80, and they're working towards 100 just so that way all the cities have that even round number.
Well, Saginaw's lagging behind in usage?
I don't have the statistics that, but from what it was looking like and from what I've seen just traveling around town, Saginaw does look like it is just a bit, but at the same time, that comes with publicity and with the amount of people that use it.
And in
popular.
In your journalistic endeavors, did you ride one?
Oh, in my journalistic endeavors and in my, free time, because downtown Midland, when you go from Main Street all the way to Northwood University, that was something that Jeff was telling me about when we first talked about it, was that it was a great way to get from the Northwood University campus to the main area where you can get food,
Yeah, but that would seem logical where you have a student population like that you'd have a lot of scooters that can go into town and come back again.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the technical side of driving one of these things. How are they controlled? Is it a handlebar like a motorcycle, or is it a button you push, or what is it?
It's like a turn.
So it's like a motorcycle.
It's like a motorcycle to an extent. I've been trying not to compare it to a motorcycle because then you get people calling in saying, well, the insurance, the helmets, this.
Yeah, I understand that, but it runs, in terms of the operation of it, it's similar to a motorcycle. Handlebar brake,
and all over that, because in Midland, when I was riding through the street, because some streets don't have those bike lanes like you were talking about, you got to make sure that you're keeping an eye on the traffic.
Yeah, obviously.
Making sure you're not holding everyone up. You got to
make sure the traffic's keeping an eye on you.
Yeah.
And the safety record has been good?
There were, from what I've seen, the safety record has been great, and except for 2 cases, and those 2 cases openly admitted on social media that they were just screwing around with the bikes. They fell off. One of them that I saw, she had fallen off. But when you're trying to do tricks on these scooters, they're not BMX.
They're not made for that, are they?
Yeah. They're traveling. They've got a heavy battery, well, not heavy, but battery pack underneath that they charge up and you take for a ride. They're not for skate parks.
Yeah, I would imagine not. I would think that they'd be geofenced skate parks.
Yeah. Keep them out of there. Keep them safe in one piece.
So if you lived in a city and they were convenient for you, you'd have no problem using them?
Me, personally, no. But I'm over in Carlton, which is just outside the...
So you're the
Saginaw,
yeah.
Just outside it.
Yeah. So you can't take it home.
Right.
All right, Rick. Listen, we appreciate your time this morning.
Glad to be here.
Thanks. Rick Antonio in the studio. He's a man that's been following the story of the scooters coming to this region, and they are, pretty much here to stay. I think the only thing that would chase them away would be a lack of use. If they weren't obviously making any money, they wouldn't hang around. But that does not appear to be the case. These things are popular all over the country, and when you think about it, from an ecology standpoint, no emissions. You don't need a big automobile to go several blocks. Hop on a scooter and away you go. Not for everybody. Let's be realistic about that. Not everybody's going to hop on a scooter and take off. Some people won't even get anywhere near them out of either fear or just don't want to, lack of desire, if you will. I would probably be, I guess it would depend where I am and what I plan to do. If I needed to go several blocks and didn't feel like walking it, maybe that would be an answer. But you got to realize, too, nothing is free. It costs money. $1 to unlock it and 38 cents a minute. You're not charged by distance. You're charged by time. So you have to take all of that into consideration when you start hopping on one of these things and touring all over town, so to speak. All right, let's take a pause and we'll come back and wrap up this hour of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW.
Small business owners know cutting costs without cutting quality is tough. How do you trim expenses without hurting your business? Easy. Get Spectrum Business. Call 888-489-2212. Switch to Spectrum Business and you can get the best internet and phone services for half of what you're paying today. Cutting costs can be easy when you get Spectrum Business. Just call 888-489-2212. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for the Pine River Golf Club. You are going to get 2 rounds of $35. It's normally $70. You are getting it half off. The Pine River Golf Club is under new ownership, and it has a beautiful 18-hole course with some pretty amazing pizza. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
Guys, stop putting your love life on hold. U.S. Pharmacy has some exciting news. If you've been wanting to try Viagra or Cialis, now's the perfect time. Call today and receive 90 little blue or little yellow pills for only $119 with free shipping. Why order some low-dose sildenafil from one of those subscription services when we can give you what you want now? Call 800-9971 and we'll rush your order discreetly packaged to your door. Been thinking about trying Viagra or Cialis? Call U.S. Pharmacy at 800-990-6271 for as little as only $119 for 90 pills. Need your package in a hurry? Call 800-990-6271 and ask about our express shipping option, and we'll rush your order to you as soon as possible. Save money on the little blue or yellow pill you've been wanting to try. Again, 800-990-6271 now. That's 800-990-6271.
Mi Gente on Air on WSGW.
The Great Lakes Bay Health Centers is teaming up in the community to increase vaccinations. I'm your host, Larry Robarte, Bobby DeLeon, and Reverend Craig Tatum, along with Angela Williams, joins us this week to help get more people of color vaccinated in Saginaw. Join us.
Mi Gente on Air, Sunday evenings at 8 on WSGW.
We're back with you on the Art Lewis Show in the moments remaining. We'll take a look at the rest of the week coming up. Tomorrow on Focus, this is going to be an interesting show tomorrow at 9 o'clock. Kevin Bishop is going to be with us. He's with the Bay City Bridge Partners. And we're going to get an update on the Liberty and Independence bridges from them and then what's ahead down the road. That will be tomorrow during the 9 o'clock hour on the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. We'll look forward to talking to Kevin. First time we've had somebody on from Bay City Partners. We've had the city folks on, but now we get to hear, so to speak, from the horse's mouth and find out exactly what the timetables are and what the work will be and, what obstacles you might run into while they're doing the work, when the bridges will be closed, when they'll be opened, and then finally how it's all going to be paid for with tolls and things down the road. So that'll be tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. Kevin Bishop with us from the Bridge Partners in Bay City. For now, let's turn our attention to the news. We'll have CBS News at the top of the hour. We'll, of course, bring you up to date on what's happening in the world and the nation. And then Michael Perch will be along to bring you up to date on everything happening in the Great Lakes Bay region and in the state of Michigan. We'll be back with Focus after that. Westside Decorating Center will be the subject of Focus. We'll talk to you then.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM. This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Facet Wealth. I'm Steve Kafin. Word came just a little while ago the government's recommending booster shots for all people of COVID-19. CBS's Stephen Portnoy.
In a joint statement, the heads of the CDC, FDA, and other medical agencies say the COVID vaccines decrease in their effectiveness over time. The statement reads, the current protection against severe disease, hospitalization, and death could diminish in the months ahead. Plans are being made for booster shots to be offered starting next month for those who've already had their second Pfizer or Moderna doses for 8 months. Why 8 months, and why the wait until next month when Israel began giving booster shots last month isn't clear.
Pentagon spokesman John Kirby says it appears U.S. troops fired shots near the entrance to the airport in Afghanistan's capital. Air operations are running.
18 C-17s have departed in the last 24 hours. These flights have carried around 2,000 passengers, and I can confirm that 325 of those passengers are American citizens.
The United Arab Emirates says Afghanistan's former president, Ashraf Ghani, is there with his family. Reports say he made off with tens of millions of dollars. Day in court today for singer R. Kelly. CBS's Jerika Duncan is covering the start of his federal sex abuse trial.
Kelly was arrested for federal sex crimes in Chicago and New York.
In July, the 54-year-old was transferred to Brooklyn, where he will now stand trial for allegedly running a criminal enterprise for 2 decades involving sex trafficking of women and underage girls.
The prosecutor said multiple accusers will testify. In Northern California, fire grew fast yesterday, wiping out at least 50 homes and destroying much of the town of Grizzly Flats. Which telecom company is now talking about a hacking incident that was reported a few days ago? CBS's Jim Crisulo.
T-Mobile says hackers accessed personal information from nearly 8 million customers, with another 40 million former or prospective customers also possibly impacted. The stolen data included Social Security and driver's license numbers. The cell phone company said on Monday that it was investigating a possible hacking.
Out of Belgium, there she goes, 19-year-old Zara Rutherford, trying to become the youngest woman around the world.
It's a dream I've had my entire life to fly in the plane around the world. And it's just the most crazy idea.
Checking Wall Street right now. Dow is up 54 points. S&P 500 up about 4. This is CBS News.
Facet Wealth, personalized and affordable financial planning for everyday Americans. No wealth or asset minimums. Quality financial advice for every stage of your life.
Let me tell you about the Lumberjack Restaurant in West Branch. Now, if you're fixing for one of those meals where you need to wear a trash bag just to eat it, Lumberjack Restaurant has the answer to your cravings. Try the Lumberjack Burger, double ground mushrooms, onions, cheese, with a big old pile of pot roast and barbecue sauce on top that'll make you go, ew, wait, with each bite. So get your ass up to the Lumberjack Restaurant in West Branch, exit 212, I-75, where hunger goes to die.
Guys, stop putting your love life on hold. U.S. Pharmacy has some exciting news. If you've been wanting to try Viagra or Cialis, now's the perfect time. Call today and receive 90 little blue or little yellow pills for only $119 with free shipping. Why order some low-dose sildenafil from one of those subscription services when we can give you what you want now? Call 800-990-6271 and we'll rush your order discreetly packaged. Trying Viagra or Cialis? Call U.S. Pharmacy at 800-990-6271 for as little as only $119 for 90 pills. Need your package in a hurry? Call 800-990-6271 and ask about our express shipping option, and we'll rush your order to you as soon as possible. Save money on the little blue or yellow pill you've been wanting to try. Again, 800-990-6271 now. That's 800-990-6271.
Syntec is back and better than ever at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Syntec is a premium at an affordable price. Right now, get 5 quarts of Syntec Full Synthetic and a Rick's Filter for just $31.99. Plus, earn double oil rewards points. Minimize friction, heat, and wear on your engine with Syntec Full Synthetic Motor Oil exclusively at Auto Parts. Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Partly cloudy skies and 78 degrees at 11:05. Good morning in North Dakota. Bishop woman received life-threatening injuries following a stabbing incident during a domestic dispute August 13th. Police say 23-year-old Nikki Cortez attacked 25-year-old Desiree Cummings, stabbing her multiple times. Cummings was taken to Covenant Healthcare in Saginaw with life-threatening injuries. Cortez is charged with assault with intent to murder. She's being held in the Saginaw County Jail on a $50,000 bond. Cummings has been transferred to a Grand Rapids hospital. Eliminating potential election fraud is the aim of a package of bills members of the Michigan House have passed and sent to the Michigan Senate. The 3 bills would keep voting machines and electronic poll books from being connected to the internet until votes have been tabulated. Representative Tim Beeson of Bay City says the change will give voters more peace of mind.
People will know then. It's not, I guess, I think, I'm not sure. Now we have a situation and we'll have it, hopefully we're passing it today and it passes the Senate and it goes. And that way everybody, both sides, Democrats and Republicans, feel that their votes count.
The Alita Lutz VA Medical Center in Saginaw is beginning a high reliability organization, or HRO, journey. Throughout the last year, staff have been undergoing training to build a strong culture of safety, which will positively impact veterans, their family members, and caregivers. Research has shown HRO experience fewer accidents despite being a high-risk environment where small errors can produce catastrophic results. HRO put procedures and protocols in place to maximize safety and minimize harm. The journey of becoming an HRO is consistent with the National Patient Safety Goals set forth by the Joint Commission, an independent nonprofit organization which accredits and certifies approximately 21,000 healthcare organizations and programs in the U.S. WSGW News Time.
While you're comfortable inside your home or business, the weather takes a toll on your roof. Wind, rain, hail, UV rays, and the heat of the sun cause premature failure of your shingles. Everyone loves to save money. If you have an aging roof, don't spend a lot of money on replacement. Get a Roof Max shingle treatment and get some peace of mind. Get more life for less money. Guaranteed with Roof Max, a powerful fusion of science and nature. Call Ben today at 859-6751.
At CDW, we get the people who need to sign here on Always Here.
Tell me about down signatures. I go through pens and shoes like chewing gum.
Sounds like you need Adobe Sign orchestrated by CDW to securely automate e-signatures and workflows across devices from anywhere. Integrating with existing tools, Sign can save your organization time, money, and miles.
Thank goodness I can finally take these shoes off.
No. Back on. IT orchestration by CDW. People who get it. Find out more at cdw.com/Adobe Sign.
WSGW News Time, 11:08. The weather forecast is coming up next. A third shot of the COVID-19 vaccine is now available to those with weakened immune systems, but soon everyone may need a booster shot.
In the coming days, federal health officials recommend COVID-19 booster shots for all Americans. The recommendation would be to get the booster shot 8 months following your second dose of the COVID-19 vaccine.
Now we're concerned because 8 months out, that immune protection might not be as concrete as we thought. Against regular COVID, you're still very much protected. The concern now is the fact that this Delta variant is so much more contagious than that original COVID strain.
That's Dr. Justin Skrinsky, an internal medicine physician at Beaumont Royal Oak. He got the COVID-19 vaccine when it was first available last December.
We're on the front lines. We're the most likely to come into contact, especially with things like the Delta variant. Personally, I would 100% get a third dose of that vaccine if it was offered.
It's the Michigan News Network.
Automaker FCA US has been fined $30 million after admitting it paid off leaders of the UAW to try to win concessions in negotiations covering thousands of factory workers. U.S. District Court Judge Paul Borman also sentenced FCA US Tuesday to 3 years probation and ordered an independent compliance monitor. FCA stands for Fiat Chrysler Automobiles, which is now part of Stellantis. The automaker pleaded guilty in March to conspiracy. Its conviction follows a series of guilty pleas from UAW officials who were showered with more than $3.5 million in value from a jointly run training center over an 8-year period. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. It is 11:10. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology Forecast. We have rain showers in the forecast and a few rumbles of thunder. Partly sunny skies, temperatures warm to the mid-80s, east-northeast winds 5 to 10. Tonight, a slight chance for showers and thunderstorms early. Partly cloudy, 66 for your low. Thursday, sunshine, mid-80s. A slight chance for showers and thunderstorms during the day. Showers and night, clear skies, 65 for your low. Friday, we'll see plenty of sunshine as we warm into the upper 80s. 89 with sunshine for Saturday, just a slight chance for showers. I'm Andy Faluber with the WSGW Weatherology Forecast. Currently 77 degrees.
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
Good morning. Welcome to Focus here on WSGW, where we focus on businesses and nonprofits and other things happening and events in the Great Lakes Bay region. Today, we focus on a returning visit to Westside Decorating Center at State of Waineke in Saginaw. We say good morning to Mike, and we say good morning to Sonia. Mike, good morning to you.
Good morning, Art.
And Sonia, good morning.
Good morning.
Well, so how was golf yesterday, Mike?
It was great. It was great weather, great setup. Sawmill does a great job for us.
Yeah, Westside Decorating was sponsoring our wonderful invitational golf outing yesterday at Sawmill, and we thank you for that. I had a friend of mine call and ask me something about you because he didn't know you did this, and I said, absolutely, so he may be in. He wanted to know about carpet, and the fact is that you're a decorating center, and we think of paint, we think of wallpaper, but you are so much more, aren't you?
We do. We're a full-service design and decorating store. We have 3 interior designers that are great resource for us because our customers come in, they may need help picking paint colors, picking fabrics, picking different sorts of flooring, and we can do that in the store or come out to the house and offer our assistance there as well. So Sonia is one of our interior designers.
So Sonia, what's it like? If I'm looking to maybe put in carpeting, maybe repaint my walls, do a whole myriad of things. You come out to the house. What's your function?
Well, lately we've had quite a few renovations. Obviously, people are staying home more, so we're doing everything from floors to paint and stains and window treatment. So we'll come out and take an assessment and some initial dimensions and provide different options for you that complement the rest of your decor and the functions of your household. So we help you from beginning to end, and we've got great contractors that we work with.
Now, obviously, if I come into the store, you've got all the samples there. If you come to my house, do you bring samples?
Oh, yes. You're welcome to come in anytime. And then if you feel a little overwhelmed because we've got hundreds of wallpaper books, thousands of fabric choices, we will help narrow it down for you. But we bring samples right out to your home and make it very easy.
The other thing we haven't talked about much when we chat with you is window treatments. Let's talk a little bit about the window treatments and what you carry.
We're one of the few places in Saginaw that still does custom, can provide custom toppers, cornice boards, draperies, shears, along with all kinds of blinds and shades. And of course, everybody's been looking into motorization lately. So we've got shades that'll work right into your smart home, and then everything just to the traditional ruler shade or mini blind. So we've got a nice mix.
Am I going to have a house full of remote controls?
No, no, it's not like it used to be. So you can have one remote control for the whole household, or you can operate it all from your phone or your tablet or even your Alexa.
Oh, really? Alexa, lower the blinds, huh? That's modern technology, isn't it?
That's wonderful.
What lines do you carry when it comes to shades and things of that nature and window treatment?
We've got a wide mix. So Hunter Douglas, Graber, Comfort Tech, Norman. We're one of the only dealers in the area that carry, and Horizon. So some nice local workrooms as well.
And installation, you handle all that?
We've got our own installers. They do a beautiful job. So all you have to do is make your selections and we can handle the rest.
And Mike, we will talk about paint, I promise, but I'm going to take a break first. So hang on, and we'll be back to talk to Mike Stoddard, the owner of Westside Decorating Center, and Sonia, one of the decorating specialists who come out to your home and give you all kinds of great ideas. We will be back with them right after these notes, and we will also hear from Terry Henney at the end of the break. But I want to ask you first how you slept last night, because in today's world, we're asked to do more for less. So when you go to bed and theoretically you spend a third of your life there, you need quality sleep. You can get it with a quality mattress from Sanitary Mattress. Now, you can visit all the so-called sleep stores. You can rest assured the mattress you're using is manufactured right here in the Great Lakes Bay region. to your specifications. That's right, they make it to your specifications. Your dollars are spent and they stay right here in our local economy. Your time in bed may be cut short by today's demanding world, but don't be fooled. You can still get a quality good night's sleep on a sanitary mattress. And they feature 1-hour window delivery of your mattress to your home, something, you don't have to wait around for them all day. By the way, they will also custom make a mattress for your RV or boat to your exact size. Visit the Sanitary Mattress Factory and Showroom serving this area since 1935. Set your GPS to 5343 Janes Road in Saginaw, just east of the Harry Brown Airport. Visit them on the web at sanitarymattress.com or call them at 753-1757. Sanitary Mattress. We'll be back with our guests after these notes and Terry Hennig.
There's never been a better time to switch. You could save hundreds of dollars on your mobile bill. Plus, there are no added taxes, hidden fees, and no contracts. Try the Spectrum Mobile Savings Calculator today, and in 3 easy steps, you'll see how much you could save by switching. Visit spectrummobile.com/save. Spectrum Internet required. Savings may vary. Restrictions apply. Visit spectrummobile.com/save for details.
This Labor Day, put an end to junk sleep. Right now at Mattress Firm, save up to $500 on our top-rated brands when you get a king bed for the price of a queen or a queen for a twin. Plus, get a free adjustable base when you spend $6.99 on Sealy, or save up to 50%. Brands like Sleepy's or Serta. With our highly trained sleep experts and our low price guarantee, you can rest assured you'll get the best bed at the best price. Unjunk your sleep, only at Mattress Firm. Offer valid with qualifying purchase. Restrictions apply. Valid at participating locations only. For offer details, visit mattressfirm.com/sale.
There are many sides to running a business. And with Square, every side can be connected. So how you sell in person syncs with how you sell online. And how you take payments works with how you pay your team. And when all your tools work together, you can spend more time seeing your bigger picture take shape. See how Square can help connect every side of your business by visiting /go/connect. That's square.com/go/connect.
The pandemic's reminded us we live in a sea of airborne germs that can assault us with every breath. Your nose is the body's first line of defense by helping filter out allergens, bacteria, and viruses before they reach your lungs. But like any air filter, the more clogged up it gets, the less it works. So how do you clean your nose? I'm Martin Hoke, and I didn't invent nasal irrigation. The neti pot's been around thousands of years. But I did invent Navage to make cleaning your nose easy. Navage uses powered suction to flush out mucus and germs that cause congestion, or worse, can 2 million people use Navage to breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier without drugs. Navage has over 70,000 online reviews averaging 4.7 stars because it works and it's easy to use. Go to Navage.com or find Navage at Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, and Target. Now available with eucalyptus for a spa-like experience. Navage. Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Your home for Detroit Tigers baseball is WSGW.
Swinging a little pop fly in the shallow left center. It's going to drop for a base hit and score 2. Robson is in. Candelario is in. 6-4 Tigers. It in.
Tigers baseball, brought to you in part by Lingle Equipment Company, your local auto owners agents, including Rummel Agency, Mayan Agency,
and Buck Insurance Agency.
Your home for the Tigers is WSGW. You're in the Stone Specialist Studios. This is 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
This year's Agro Expo is living up to all the expectations so far. They had a terrific crowd here yesterday, and the weather is very nice again today. Crowd is out here. Quality information, demonstrations to benefit going on right now. This year's theme, as we mentioned last hour, is choppers and tillage demonstrations. They've also got a lot of specialized presentations covering many aspects of the agriculture community. It's all out here. We have exhibitors representing innovation in farm equipment, nutrient, seed, chemical, and other areas of agribusiness that help farmers solve any situation that they might have. Hands-on demonstrations, learning capability, it's all here. The FFA, 4-H kids involved, Michigan State University is here as well. Great time to be out appreciate agriculture. Again, our location, 5605 Findlay Road. And our broadcast today brought to you by the folks at the Frankenmuth Credit Union. More on the Farm Show coming up.
All right, Terry, we'll look forward to it coming up right after the bottom of the hour and the market report from Baird & Company. We're talking to Mike and Sonia from Westside Decorating Center. So, Mike, I promised, what's new in paint?
You know, we just got a brand new stain line in for exterior stains. So this would be for your fence or your deck. It's called Ready Seal, and it comes in about 6 different stock colors and a clear. And they call it a goof-proof stain. So it's one of those products you cannot screw up no matter how hard you try.
That's for me.
Just had a couple jobs. Yeah, we just had a couple jobs done with it, and they turned out beautiful. A beautiful fence and a deck we just had done with this product.
What's the longevity?
Yes. Coatings in Michigan, obviously, weather's hard on them. But on a deck, we recommend recoating your deck every 2 to 3 years, depending on, if you have a shading or any natural protection. Obviously, that makes it last longer. On vertical surfaces like siding or sheds or fences, you're usually seeing between 5 and 7 years on a semi-transparent stain. We have solid stains that would give you more longevity as well.
So when you say recoat a deck, look, I have a wooden porch on the side of my house, and it doesn't have a color stain on it. How do I retreat that? Roller, brush? What do I need to do?
Yeah, so for most stains, brush is the best applicator because it does push the stain into the wood, and of course you're looking for a good, obviously going to last longer. The Ready Seal product that we've got, that can be brushed, rolled, sprayed, pretty much anything. It does not need to be back brushed, which makes application really easy, and you still get a uniform look even with the rolling or spraying the coating on.
I like the word foolproof because I'm a fool when I do it, believe me. Sonia, be quiet. She knows me. Mike knows my least favorite thing in the world is to paint, but I do it when I have to. So I'm always looking for products that make it easier. And I think a lot of people are in that boat, don't they? They want it as easy as possible.
Yeah, as easy as possible. And, we have some fun projects to do here, too. We do have countertop paints that look either like granite or like marble. And those are actually really fun projects. People that even, say that they don't countertops, and making your kitchen or your bathroom transform in just a day or an afternoon is very fulfilling.
I will admit, and my aversion to painting, but I did Gianni on an old countertop a number of years ago, and I must admit it was a good time. It was a lot of fun.
Yep.
Because splatters actually belong there. That's why.
Exactly, yeah.
It worked really well for me, Let's talk about store hours.
Yes, so we are open during the week, Monday through Friday, from 7:30 a.m. till 5:30 p.m., and then Saturdays from 9 until 3 o'clock.
And we should point out that 7:30 start time. You really cater to a lot of contractors, don't you?
We do. Yep, cater to contractors. They're usually the first ones in, but front door is open if anyone needs to pick up an order or get some paint or just come in and look at colors or anything.
And Sonia, if someone's interested in having you come out to the house, how do they contact you?
You can email us from our website and make appointments through our new calendar, or you can just call us.
All right. Very good. Well, Mike and Sonia, as always, fun to talk about you and hear what's happening at Westside Decorating Center. We'll do it again down the road.
Perfect. Thanks, Art.
All right, Mike. Thanks a lot. Bye, Sonia. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Mike and Sonia, Westside Decorating Center, and they are located right at State at Weineke. They're right next door to the Saginaw Spirit office. And in the same row as Super Cafe. So pay them a visit. We'll take our last break, come back. We'll move over to Baird & Company for the market report after these notes.
Great Lakes Bay Health Centers would like to remind you that building a defense against COVID-19 will take all of us. That's why we're proud to offer not only COVID testing, but also free COVID vaccines at multiple locations. Visit GreatLakesBayHealthCenters.org for comprehensive information on locations and times near you. The only way this pandemic will. So let's all do our part to stay healthy and get vaccinated. Please remember to continue following safety measures to keep yourself, your family, and our community safe. Together, we can finally end COVID-19.
Hi, Tom Bodette for Motel 6, leaving the light on for families back on the road. Kids in suitcases jammed in the back, earbuds tangled in the dog, heading to see Aunt Jasmine and her rock garden. Admit it, you missed this. And Motel 6 has been missing you. With our clean, comfortable rooms and great low rates, we've been giving families on the move the perfect roadside rest for almost as long as Aunt Jasmine's been putting rocks in her yard. I'm Tom Bodette from Motel 6, and we'll leave the light on for you.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the mix that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
Dave Ramsey. That's how you do your predictions there. Same month last year. You're a farmer. When you going to harvest your crop? You know, other than that, you're planting and making nothing. And you're waiting on the fall crops to come in. Then you're going to pull the corn. You're going to pull the soybeans. We know when that's coming. We know we're going to take that to market. We don't know exactly what it's going to yield, but we know it's not going to happen in this month. We know it's going to happen in that month. Most small businesses fail because they don't do what we're talking about. They don't predict. They don't do any budgeting. Drive the car looking only at the rearview mirror. What happened a year ago, not what's going to happen next year.
Dave Ramsey on WSGW.
All right, that'll do it for Focus today. We thank Mike Stoddard, who is the owner of Westside Decorating Center, and Sonia, one of the interior decorators, for being with us this morning. Always fun. And down the road on a Saturday, we always occasionally have Mike on to answer your questions about how to do paint, wallpaper, staining, and all that good stuff. He's very, very knowledgeable, been at it almost 20 years, if not 20 years now or more, and can answer all those questions. So we will do that over the next few weeks. I will miss this Saturday and the following Saturday. I'm going to be on vacation for a week. But when we get back, we'll get a hold of Mike and have him on. So that'll do it for Focus today. We thank you for joining us. Time to move over to Baird & Company for our ticker tip of the day, and we find Steve Anderson waiting for us this morning. Steve, good morning.
And good morning to you, sir.
Well, how are we doing midweek?
Well, markets are kind of split here midweek. We've got the Dow Jones Industrial Averages down about 40 points, putting it at 35,303 on volume of 252 million shares. The NASDAQ's up just marginally at 14,656, volume 291 million shares.
My favorite word, lackluster.
Absolutely, it is indeed.
What's your ticker tip for the day?
Well, the tip of the day is talk about things like inflation. And generally, when we have inflation, we will at some point run into rising interest rates. And I want to remind people yet again what that means to folks who have either individual bonds or bond funds. If we wind up with interest rates going back to more normalized levels, which
whatever they are,
4%, yeah, whatever that is, yeah, say 4% from the 2% level. The one thing that will happen 100% for sure is the value of individual and bond funds will go down, because the price that people are willing to pay for those things is based on the cash flow that they can receive. And if you've got locked in at a low cash flow and competitive cash flows are much higher, they're going to pay you less to get yours. So do be careful. If you get too much tied up in that direction, it can have a very negative impact on your portfolio. And when you're doing something that you believe you're doing for the purpose of creating safety, it might not be doing the job you want.
How do we get some help from you to stay away from those pitfalls?
Well, you call us right here at Baird & Company, where the telephone number is 790-5724, or you can find us on the web at rwbaird, that's BAIRD.com, and look for the Saginaw branch.
All right, Steve, have a great day. We'll talk to you on Friday.
All righty, I'll be here.
Take care. Bye-bye now.
Yep, bye-bye.
Steve Anderson from Baird and Company with our ticker tip of the day. We thank you for joining us. We thank you too. Coming up next, Terry Henney and his farm show on remote. All of that is ahead.
I wasn't able to